Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, you know what? It's day 9. It's slightly late. I know. But in saying that, I'm really looking forward to going over this. It's day 9 of the French Open. First of all, thank you everyone who tuned in to the Djokovic Musetti live stream and the Nadal Sinner live stream. It was really fantastic to have so many people on. I think at one stage we had something like over 300 people in the chat, which was unbelievable. So thank you so much to all of you who did tune in. And if you haven't already, of course, you know what I'm going to say. Please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, get the notification bell to make sure you get alerts to all the new videos. Subscribing just helps the channel to grow, get out there, and also just makes you guys aware of when new streams, videos, when we're going live, etc. as well, which will be quite frequent now that we are on the second week of the French Open as well. And of course, we'll be covering Wimbledon, Olympics, all that all the good stuff. And some Masters tournaments as well, don't worry. Right, okay, so let's get on to day 9 then. So I'm going to talk about the match that we covered first, which is Djokovic versus Musetti. Now, I don't want to go over it too much because, of course, if you're on the live stream, you would know exactly what went on and my thoughts on it. Very briefly, for anyone that did miss it, though, Musetti played unbelievable. Young Italian, 19 years old, really beautiful one-handed backhand as well. Just looked so elegant playing it. And genuinely, the first 2 sets he played unbelievably. And it wasn't just the way that he played, it was his mental fortitude in those first 2 sets, unreal. He did really well in terms of mixing it up, especially with a backhand slice cross court to the Djokovic into that forehand, which unfortunately for Djokovic broke down in those couple of sets on big points. And that's why Musetti won both tie breaks, which is very uncharacteristic for Djokovic because he is normally extremely good in the breakers. And Musetti managed to, outdo him in those, which was really impressive. But then the start of the third set, Djokovic just turned it up a notch, went up a gear. Musetti, unfortunately, and I did have this a little bit of fear that he wouldn't be able to carry on the level that he had in those first 2 sets because a lot of these next gen guys, they are very good for a set and a half, 2 sets, but to get through to 3, 4, 5 sets and maintain that level or around that level is quite tough because they're not used to playing that many sets in a match. They don't have that experience, whereas someone like Djokovic does. And of course, the era they're playing in with, these unbelievable players that are definitely going to be the goats of the sport are still going strong, so it's difficult. But Musetti, very good showing though from him. But after that 6-1, I mean, it was a blitz, and then 6-love, and you could just tell he bageled him. Musetti didn't quite look himself, and then I think you could tell there was a niggle. Definitely at the end of that set, I would have assumed that maybe it was having an effect during that 4th set. I think it was a side strain, but he just looked like he couldn't move. And to be honest with you, if you've strained your side, you won't be able to do much because it's all rotation through your hips and sides when you're hitting. So that would have been difficult. But he looks like a real talent and one for the future for sure. Djokovic, interesting to see whether it does have an effect on him going forward in his match against Berretini, because look, it'll be interesting because Berrettini obviously got a walkover, as you can see, against Federer, so he will be a little bit cold potentially. I know he would have been practicing, but it's a bit different to match practice. So maybe he might be slightly slow to start. How much of an effect would this long match that Djokovic has had have on him? You'd assume not much because he's just so used to it and he's an athlete, but he is getting older, so it'll be an interesting matchup, I think, for sure. And then on the other side, we had Rafael Nadal versus Jannik Sinner, covered that as well. Now, the first 2 sets, 7-5, 6-3, they were yo-yo sets. It could have gone either way, but Nadal on some of the, of course, big points and that is really the biggest difference between the top players, that top 2, top 3 players in Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, and the rest of the pack is, for the most part, when it comes to the big games and the Grand Slams, they play the crucial points better. And that's why they tend to always win these matches, because I don't feel that they are at a certain level where guys like, Tsisipas, Medvedev, Zverev, etc., and Co cannot beat them. I think they can beat them. It's more the mental edge that these guys have on top of being able to construct and really turn it on when it matters. And these guys do that. And that's exactly what Nadal did. He was 5-4 down the first set, a breakdown. And actually, Sinner was serving for the set. And you're just thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, like this could be it. Nadal might lose a set of the French and it could be an absolute nightmare. Now, it was just crazy because Sinner then went 30 love down, and that's it. Tightened up. Nadal just took advantage. Forehand started flowing, and he just turned it on when he needed to. Got the break, right? Then you're like, okay, you've broken back 5-all, served much better after a couple of, after a double fault or two in that first set, and then got another break because Sinner, after getting broken back to take it back onto serve, he went more cautious. He didn't start going for his shots as much, and it was a bit of a nightmare for him. Anyway, Nadal, quite a few double faults for him, and as a Nadal fan, I was a little bit frustrated about that because it was mainly him on the ad side, looked like he was just falling over a little bit, but I'm sure he'll sort that out. I wouldn't be too worried about that. But again, as well, the form was on and off. And Sinner definitely the first set, he was firing winners left, right, and center. Nadal had to weather it a little bit. Second set, Nadal played a lot better, I thought. But in saying that, he was 4-love up and then surrendered that to, I think it was 4-3, but then went on to take it 6-3. And then the last set, I mean, Sinner was just done and dusted by then. He was completely mentally and physically, I think, drained and ground into the dust, really. And Nadal took that one 6-love, and a little bagel there from both Nadal and Djokovic handed out. Okay, in terms of the other match, Schwartzman 7-6, 6-4, 7-5. So the 10th seed and Argentinian going through. So he'll be facing Rafa Nadal in the quarterfinal as well. So really impressive stuff from him. Now on to the women's then, because there was a fantastic win for Maria Sakkari against Sofia Kenin. Now, she beat the number 4 seed 6-1, 6-3. That is a really impressive win. And the number 17 seed will go on to the quarterfinals, which is really, really cool. It really is, seriously. I mean, that's a really impressive win. I know I keep on saying really, but genuinely, I was so impressed actually with that performance. So really happy for her as well. They seem to have a very cool team around, and I'm looking forward to seeing how she does. In terms of other matchups, obviously the evening game was Kostyuk versus Swiatek. If I've got that right, I hope I have. Someone corrected me on the live stream, so hopefully I have. So the reigning French Open champion beat her 6-3, 6-4, beating the talented but young Ukrainian star. And Coco Gauff got through against Jabeur. So very well, on paper, it's an evenly matched affair, 24 and 25th seed, but she came through 6-3, 6-1. So carrying on her good form. And then I'm going to butcher this name on her. Let's try it. Come on. Krajikova beat Stevens 6-2, 6-love. That's a bit of a beating. I was a bit surprised by that, really, because Sloane Stevens, again, and I've said it on other videos, I feel like her game was quite suited to the clay if she just applied herself well. And I felt like she was doing it for the majority of this tournament. But obviously, on this one, just comprehensively outplayed. And that happens. Might not turn up on the day, or Krajikova, even, sorry, probably just put together a better game plan, and that can happen. So interesting to see how she does. Sakkari, Swiatek, sorry, and Gauff. I'm really looking forward to seeing how all four get on in the quarters. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I'm really, really happy that everyone tuned in. Please do remember to like the video and, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel to grow. Now, in terms of tomorrow, we've got 2 huge quarterfinals: Zverev versus Davidovich for Kina. I think I may cover that one. I would love to do Tsitsipas versus Medvedev, but the timing is just not great. But we'll see. We'll see. I want to cover at least one, obviously. So keep an eye out for that. Keep your eyes peeled. But Tsitsipas versus Medvedev, I mean, that's the pick, and we know that they don't like each other. It's gonna be explosive. That's what I'm gonna say. In terms of the women's, the quarterfinals tomorrow, we've got Zidensek versus Badosa Gabert and Rybakina versus Pavlyuchenkova. So that's gonna be really cool. Looking forward to that as well. So let's see how those go. 11 and 12:15. So a bit earlier might do a cheeky one for those as well. Why not? I think Rybakina versus Pavlyuchenkova might be a cool one. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as I said. Click the notification bell as well to get alerts to all the new videos. I'll see you tomorrow for the live streams and, of course, for day 10 of my roundup. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you on the next